Welcome to Chasing Chunks TV. I'm Johnny Tosh, and today you join me at the magnificent Merrington Carp Fishery. You join me on the 29th of March, and it's officially the first day that we can go out and do some night fishing. Yes, I am absolutely buzzing to be out on the bank. And I've got to be honest, a week ago I thought I'll have a little farm round a couple of the fisheries to see whether there was any availability, knowing myself that there probably wasn't. The couple of fisheries that I found before this one didn't have any swims free. However, lucky me, I found up here and literally somebody had just cancelled, and on the back of that I booked, and I'm down here today for a 48-hour session. Now I'm in probably one of my favourite swims, even though when I come down early this morning there was 5 people in front of me. I thought, you know what, some of these swims that I want to be in are going to go, and to be fair, 3 of them that was probably my top choice did. However, swim 12 with this oncoming wind and the weather conditions in front that are coming, this has got a good chance of doing a couple of fish. And while I've been setting up, I've already seen a couple of fish. So basically I had all my rods ready, as you've probably seen with my head cam, and I've just basically flicked out 2 singles out to where I've seen them fish. So I'm just getting my bits and pieces ready at the moment, and I'll start just to gradually, a bit later, put out a little bit of bait and start to settle into the session, and hopefully by the end of this 48-hour session we can get into a few. Fingers crossed. So I've been here before, I've been here twice before, and this place has been pretty generous to me, and I've probably had my quickest bite ever from out of the peg 14 2 swims down. And basically I come down on the social, done exactly the same as I did today, put it out there, and as soon as the lady hit the bottom I managed a fish out of there, and I backed it up a couple of minutes later with another one as well. So that's basically why I did that today. While them lines are not in, I've just flicked out them couple of rods for a couple of hours. Why? I'll get my baited rigs and rods and bits and pieces ready. So enjoy, and hopefully we'll have a great session together. And just before we continue, please subscribe to my channel. Just down in that corner, or that corner, you'll find a little bell icon. Click on that and come and follow my channel. We've got lots going on going forward. So let me get cracking on, and I'll see you shortly. Ta-ra. Well, 4:30, still waiting for one of these rods to rattle off. However, you've got to expect it to be a little bit quiet at the moment, especially with all them lines going in this morning, the lake being full and all that bait going in. You would expect these fish to be a little bit offish. However, as we go into this evening, into tonight and first thing in the morning when it's a little bit more quieter, I'm expecting these fish to get the heads down, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can nail one. Now I'm going to leave these rods in till round about 6:30, and then I'll probably bring them in, put fresh bags on, fresh PVA sticks, and put them back out on the marks. I think on top of that bar and just off it to the left hand side as it's just dropping off, I think it'll definitely do me fish as we're going into tonight and first thing in the morning. So I ain't going to update the video blog again till tonight. I'm just going to sit on this bucket, look out and see whether we can see anything, let these fish tell me what they're doing, and basically sit on my hands and wait for good times. So what do they say? Hours of silence for 5 minutes of madness, and that's basically what it is. So I'll catch you a little bit later, guys. Bye bye. Well, the rods have gone out for the evening. I've had a little bit of a change as in regards to rigs. I've basically just chopped off my leg clip system and just put 2 solid bags out there just on wafters. Reason being is that I want a little bit of substance round the hook bait during the evening and tonight, and in the morning, if I don't have nothing during and past bite time, then I'll bring them in and change and swap and change again to try and get me a bite. But I just want something out there that I know that's presented, and I know there's a little bit of parcel of bait around it. I've put probably about 4 spods of boilies around it, all different sizes, 12 mils, 14 mils and 16s, just to give a little bit of variety out there, and that is on the left hand rod. Again, I've just put a little solid bag out there with a little orange wafter, and basically I've just put that out at 16.5 wraps where I was fishing to earlier. I've not put any bait around it. I'm basically sitting on the bait that I put out first thing this morning. So I'm going to log off for this evening, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll join you either this evening, tonight, or first thing in the morning. So good night, guys, and hopefully, fingers crossed, good times to come. Well, good morning. 6:30 in the morning. The first morning for a very long time that I've woken up my eyes to the rods already being out and not having to worry about casting in and getting a swim. Now, unfortunately, last night was uneventful. The guy down to my right hand side in, I think it's peg 11, he had a fish round about 12 o'clock last night, 22 pound common. The guy down in peg 13, he also lost a fish after putting a big bed of particle down. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any particle. I've only got boilies and I've not had a sniff. The guy over on the opposite swim, he had a fish after putting out particle yesterday, and I'm starting to think I may have got my tactics a little bit wrong. I bought boilie only to try and target the bigger fish, but it doesn't seem that these fish want to get on it. So I've seriously got to make changes today try and induce a bite. And what I have to do that, I don't know. So I'm going to go through the day having a little think about it. I'm going to keep that rod on that plateau out there, because I am expecting them to drop over the top of it today. We've got 20 degrees apparently today, so you would expect them to be floating over plateaus up in the water. So, and you can't use zigs here, so that's another disadvantage. So I'm going to sit here this morning watching the water. I've not seen any fish this morning for the half an hour I've been up. I heard them last night. But yeah, I'm just going to sit here thinking about what changes I'm going to make today. So, catch you a little bit later, guys. Enjoy the morning. I'll see you later. Weather is absolutely beautiful, and I have seen probably about 4 to 5 showers, little bit more to the back of my spot and down to the right. So with that, I've literally just brought in that rod because it's done nothing all night, and basically I've had fish rolling down to the right hand side. So I brought in the solid bag and literally didn't clip up. I just put it where that fish rolled. It was right on the boundaries of my swim, and basically I landed right on top of where it showed. So I've just put a little bit of power gum on there so I can get back out to that mark again and clip it up if I do get a take. But it was generally where them fish have been showing again this morning. In the bag is basically pellets and also a little pink wafter pop up, and on the left hand rod I've basically out of 15.5 wraps on a little wet yellow dumbbell wafter. So we'll leave them in for the day. We'll see whether they do anything. But fingers crossed, come on. Just keep on at them, keep chasing them. And surely, again, effort will equals reward. So I'm going to enjoy the day, enjoy the sun, and I'll speak to you a bit later. So you join me at 6 o'clock on the end of a very quite warm and pleasant day. Now I've made a little bit of a dramatic change as in regards to my baiting tactics. Now for the past 36 hours I've been throwing bags out there, little wafters, and trying to nick a bite. However, that hasn't worked for the past 36 hours. Some of the guys have been catching on bait, and with that in mind I've decided to twist things up a little bit and basically put a big shed of bait out there. I know it's a bit of a gamble, but it's a gamble that may pay off, and if it does, then I'm going to be more than pleased with myself that I made the change. So for the past half an hour I've been spotting out 4 kg of boilies over my area, and basically right in front of my swim I've basically just put boilies wherever. I've not really been interested where they're going, as long as they're going in that tunnel right in front of me along that bar, and where I presented my hook baits. I've changed the hook bait up a little bit. On the left hand rod I've basically put a 16mm ASM barrel wafter, and on the other rod it's basically a greedy pig rig, which is a double 18mm ASM boilies with a little stick mix around it, and I've been baiting that right over the top of it. So let's see whether this little bit of a gamble comes good. And I just didn't want to go out tomorrow thinking that what if I should, and if I didn't do it, why didn't I do it? So I have, and we'll see whether it comes good and that little bit of a gamble pays off. So I'm not going to log off again for this evening. I'm going to sit on this bucket, watching this water, enjoying the nice mild weather that we've got, and yeah, just wind away the hours until tonight. So I won't update the video blog again. So good night guys, and fingers crossed. We are counting down till the morning. 11 o'clock we've got to be off. So let's see what it does. Well, that is just another liner that I've had for the past hour. Around about 3 o'clock this morning, I received a pretty savage liner on my left hand rod. So savage, in fact, that I got out the bag to go and hit it. It was only because I seen it just dropping down ever so slowly that I left it. And I'm glad I did, to be fair, because for the past hour I've just had liners on both my rods, so that's a good clear indication that there's fish out there, there's activity out there where my baited spots are and my hook baits. And I'm hoping for the next couple of hours, as we go into obviously first light, that we may get our first fish for this video blog. There's definitely fish out there, I've been listening to, and there's quite a few fish out there. So I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm going to have me a cup of tea, and I'm just going to wind away the hours just sitting on the bed chair looking out over the lake from what I can see, and yeah, just enjoying my last couple of hours down here. Fingers crossed it's going to happen. Well, 6:30. We are a couple of hours on from when I picked up the camera in the bivvy due to them liners waking me up this morning. I haven't managed to get back off to sleep, and I've just been listening to them liners every now and again just literally flicker with my bobbins up and down, giving me that little bit of an indication and some sort of idea that them fish was out there. However, for the past hour and a half, them liners have dropped off, everything's gone quiet, and it is looking like a blank is on the cards. However, I'm going to stick it out right till the end. We've got to reel in at 11 o'clock to allow the other anglers to jump in the swims at 11:30, and them rods are staying in there right until the last minute. So I'm going to enjoy the morning. There's still plenty of time for one of them rods to rattle off, but it is looking doubtful with every hour that passes. So I will update the vlog just before I leave. But at the moment, I'm just going to enjoy the morning, chill out, have me a couple of cups of teas, and just generally enjoy being out in this lovely mild weather with that view. Catch you later. Well, we're coming into the last half an hour, and I thought I'd just log off this video and just use the last half an hour with these rods on the deck, put that pod away and just roll away that last half an hour to see whether we can get a bite. However, I am going to log off this video blog, and though we haven't caught, we should always see blanking as progress and a positive, because if you're blanking, then that's the time when you learn to change things up, make changes, and definitely when you keep on blanking, blossoms will grow and eventually you will get your rewards. So this channel will always show when I blank and how it happens, because when tackle companies are giving off that false view of carp fishing, they're not showing the true insight to what carp fishing is all about, because they're blanking. Trust me, they're blanking. They're just editing it out that they're not. And people come into the sport expecting that they're going to be catching every single time, and that's not the way carp fishing is. Whether you're experienced to carp fishing, whether you're new to carp fishing, whether you think you're the baddest ass carp angler out there, you're always gonna blank. So keep it real. This channel will always keep it real, and hopefully you'll continue to support my channel and subscribe. Just down in those corners is a little red icon. Click on that and come and follow my channel. So it's bish bash bosh, keep it tosh, wet nets, tight lines. See you on my next video. Time to get these rods on the deck. Let's have this last half an hour, and if I do get one, lucky me if I do, then I will come back to you. But if not, thank you for your support. It's really appreciated. Bye bye.